Stroads. Your daily commute is making you miserable, and it's not by accident. The Stroad is that nightmare combination of street and road. Streets are for local life, people walking, shopping, and connecting. Roads are for moving traffic quickly and efficiently. A Stroad tries to serve both purposes. It's wide enough for highway speeds, but cluttered with traffic lights and driveways every few hundred feet. This design ruins daily life because it fails at both goals. Traffic moves slowly because of constant stops, and it's incredibly dangerous for pedestrians trying to cross 6 lanes of fast traffic. Orlando's International Drive, a classic Stroad, has more pedestrian fatalities per mile than almost anywhere in America. The fix is clear. We must decide whether the corridor should be a road or a street. If it's a road, limit access and design it only for moving cars between places. If it's a street, slow the traffic down, add safe crossings, and design it for people and businesses. Parking craters. Remember when downtowns had buildings instead of parking lots? Meet the parking crater where vibrant city blocks went to die. These are the surface lots created when planners demolish valuable architecture to store cars. Buffalo, New York, lost 40% of its downtown buildings to parking between 1950 and 2000. That's not urban renewal. That's urban demolition. The crater ruins life. It destroys the street life that makes cities interesting. You can't window shop at a parking lot. It creates dead zones where community used to exist, turning vibrant neighborhoods into commuter storage facilities. Here's the kicker. Most downtowns have more parking spaces than cars. We demolished our cities for parking we didn't even need. Property taxes drop because parking lots generate less revenue than buildings. Cities literally tear down their own tax base. The fix. Cities must stop prioritizing free commuter storage. Incentivize the redevelopment of surface lots into productive, tax-generating buildings, especially housing and mixed-use structures. Freeways. Urban freeways are large highways that run right through the middle of cities. They were built to carry lots of cars at high speeds, connecting suburbs and downtowns. They ruin city life in several ways. Freeways slice neighborhoods apart, creating walls of noise, pollution, and danger that are nearly impossible to cross. Communities once full of homes and businesses were bulldozed to make way for them. And despite all that destruction, freeways don't even fix traffic. Adding lanes simply invites more drivers, a problem known as induced demand. In the end, congestion comes roaring back. The fix is tough, but possible. Some cities are now tearing down their downtown freeways, replacing them with boulevards, green parks, and public transit. Others are capping freeways with decks that reconnect neighborhoods above them, healing the scars these highways left behind. Car suburbs. Then there's the car suburb where you literally cannot survive without a car. Phoenix, Arizona, sprawls across hundreds of square miles with a population density so low that buses can't run efficiently. This design ruins life. The average suburban household spends $9,000 per year just on car ownership, a mortgage payment going entirely to transportation. Kids can't bike to school because there are no sidewalks. Elderly people become prisoners when they can't drive anymore. The suburb promises freedom but delivers isolation. Every trip requires a car, and the infrastructure costs are astronomical, with all those wide streets and pipes spread across vast distances, costing 3 times more per resident than dense neighborhoods. The fix? Transition away from sprawling single-use zoning. Encourage mixed-use development and small, dense local centers so residents can walk, bike, or use transit for daily errands. Slip lanes. The danger isn't just on the Stroad, it's in the corners. Slip lanes, or channelized right turns, are those extra little lanes that let cars turn without stopping. Large curb radii are the wide, sweeping corners that make it easy for cars to turn without slowing down much. They ruin life by prioritizing speed over safety. Slip lanes encourage drivers to turn too fast, often watching only for gaps in traffic and missing pedestrians. Large corners mean faster turns, longer crosswalks, and less time for drivers to react. The intersection, the very spot where people and cars meet, becomes a zone of stress and crashes. The fix is simple. Remove slip lanes wherever people walk. Shrink curb radii so cars are forced to slow down when turning. This shortens crosswalks, improves visibility, and reminds drivers they're entering a place for people, not racing onto a highway ramp. Highway cuts. Highway cuts are where planners literally sliced cities in half for cars. Interstate 75 destroyed entire neighborhoods in Detroit. They ruin communities. These highways don't just divide space, they divide people. It was no accident. Low-income neighborhoods usually got the highway slicing through them, while wealthy neighborhoods got the bypass. This created environmental inequality written in concrete and asphalt, splitting families from jobs, schools, and services. In St. Paul, the construction of Interstate 94 displaced 600 families and 300 businesses, mostly in the African American community. The fix. The lesson from San Francisco, which tore down the Embarcadero Freeway, is clear. Cities work better when they're not split down the middle. We must invest in repairing the damage, perhaps through freeway caps or targeted urban renewal, focused on reconnecting neighborhoods. Parking minimums. Parking minimums are rules and zoning codes that require every building to have a certain number of parking spaces, no matter what. They ruin life in multiple ways. First, parking isn't free. Building lots or garages is extremely expensive, and that cost gets passed directly into higher rents, home prices, and product costs. Second, these rules force developments to spread out, creating seas of empty asphalt that push everything farther apart. That kills walkability and vibrancy. Instead of ground floor storefronts, you see concrete parking structures. The fix: eliminate or drastically reduce parking minimums. Let builders decide how much parking is actually needed based on market demand. In many dense areas, fewer spaces work just fine, allowing property owners to build housing and commerce instead of empty pavement. Cul-de-sacs. A cul-de-sac is a dead-end street, usually in suburban neighborhoods promising peace and quiet. They ruin city life at scale. Cul-de-sacs fundamentally disconnect neighborhoods. To reach a store or school just a few hundred yards away, you may need to drive a mile in circles. This design forces car dependency and funnels all the local traffic onto a few big, fast arterial roads. Studies show that cul-de-sac networks often have more severe crashes because they put pressure on those fewer, faster roads. The supposed quiet safety of the dead end actually makes the entire city less safe and less efficient. The fix: create connected street networks with short blocks and many intersections that let people walk, bike, or drive directly where they need to go. Even existing cul-de-sacs can sometimes be retrofitted with small pedestrian or bike paths, connecting them to nearby streets. To help us grow even more, please like this video and subscribe. See you in the next one.